quickly because I don't need to preach to the converted. We're all here for the same reason. We understand the impact. We understand the potential implications and how they're going to impact us. I just want to draw attention specifically to what this has really been all about as far as Harper not giving due process and parliamentary process in passing all of these and making Bill C-45 law, and it comes right down to water. So here's the very grim picture of it all. Now that Bill C-45 has become law and our rivers and lake no longer protected, the federal government is now pushing for the province of Alberta to privatize water. So, hey, you know what? This is how this is going to go. Those thousands upon thousands of rivers and lakes that are no longer protected, if we allow them and the province to privatize water, this means that, if I understand the process correctly, and I'm trying to keep it real simple, that corporations will continue to purchase these senior water licenses for millions of dollars. First Nations and Métis settlements, by the way, are not a part of any kind of process of consultation as it comes to the privatization of water. No great surprise. So in essence, what that means is at the end of the day, after the corporate world buys out all of these water licenses for fracking, and we have a water shortage, I can assure you that it will be First Nations communities and Métis settlements that will not have water. Do you understand that? I mean, that's nothing to applaud. That is what we're dealing with here.
You guys don't understand the devastation that they leave behind, not just land, but the people. We were exiled here because of that. And you see it every day now in places like Colombia, where the indigenous people and indigenous populations are fighting for their life. They're dying down there to take control of their lands and making sure that our Canadian multinationals do not do this to them. So I encourage you to start fighting back, to become leaders and start taking action, encouraging your family and your friends. There's no more room for the word but in our language now, the way that we speak to each other. Everyone is accountable and we have to take responsibility for our actions. There is no room for but. So I really encourage all of you to go out today and really start making a difference in your community. There's no time for argument. There's no time for resistance. We need to start being more compassionate and understanding that there's people out there that their eyes are still closed and they are not aware of the truth around them. So we need to start opening their eyes. We have that knowledge because our eyes have been opened. So let's take that knowledge and let's do good with it and start changing hearts and minds. It's not about ignoring them, because if we ignore them, then the problem continues. So let's make more of an effort to start changing hearts and minds. So I really thank you all for coming out here today. I know it was short notice and I tried to inform as many groups, as many people as I could. But I really thank you for being here today and doing this and coming out and just showing Washington that we are with them and that we're not ignoring them.
6 million new cars on the road. That's a lot. Yeah, shame. And that doesn't include emissions from upgrading and refining. So actually the numbers are much higher. It'll require overall tar sands production to go up 36% to fill that pipeline. So, you know, that's more and more communities that are going to be feeling the effects, and more people who are, you know, going to be realizing that the water isn't being protected, the air isn't being protected, and the land is not being protected. So, you know, I'm happy to be here. I'm going to keep it short and sweet because there's a whole bunch of other speakers coming up. And thank you so much. And yeah, this is awesome. Woo! Hey, everybody. I can't hear you. Hey, everybody. So I'm going to say, what do we want? And I want you to say justice, okay? What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. Woo!
up for myself because I'm really cold. I'm just trying to get you guys pumped up. So my name is Eriel Deranger, and I'm a member of the Athabasca Chipewyan First Nation. And we have been a community that we live in Let me try that again. So the Athabasca Chipewyan First Nation reside in the town of Fort Chipewyan, which is downstream from the largest and most destructive industrial project on the planet, which is the tar sands, which will be filling up not just the XL pipeline, but the Enbridge Northern Gateway pipeline, and it will be shipped. There's new propositions for it to be shipped by rail up to Alaska. And we're talking about pipelines that are touching coast to coast to coast to coast of the continent of North America. And this is shameful, not just to the Canadian government, but the American government and everyone and every multinational corporation that is supporting or operating in the Alberta tar sands. It is the biggest human disaster ever created. And it's time for us as human beings on this planet to stand together, because my community, the Athabasca Chipewyan First Nation, have been paying the ultimate price. Our waters are contaminated, our fish are contaminated, our moose are contaminated, our caribou are contaminated. All of the animals, our sacred plants and medicines are being destroyed every single day so corporations can profit off of our lives and the degradation of our culture and our people. And I say no more! No more! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! It's time for us to stand together with our partners down south in the United States and help them stop this pipeline. And it's time for us to stand with our brothers and sisters on the West Coast to stop that pipeline. And it's time for us to stand together with my brothers and sisters and cousins and family in the north to stop the expansion of the pipelines, the tar sands, and this most destructive industrial project on the planet. So we all need to stand together, and I don't know more. I don't know more. Thank you. Masi Cho.